Welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Alex Rude asking, did Steve-O get lost or something? No, and he was here earlier than you, Alex. I'm Sean Anderson. I'm the host of the CHGO White Sox pregame show. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me is Steve-O from the Sons of Hahnarchy Sox podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at Drunk Shy Sox Fan.
That's right.
Okay. I always get worried.
That's incredible. Thank you for the introduction, Sean. And the peanut gallery as well. Man.
Yes.
Thank you. Shouts to Steven.
They're really tiny. You really can't see the peanut gallery. And they're really, the unseen heroes of this entire show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Excited to talk to Steve-O. Steve-O is the host of the Sons of Hahnarchy Podcast. Why don't you tell people about the Sons of Hahnarchy Podcast and who you do it with?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do the Sons of Hahnarchy Podcast, which has been around now for 4 seasons. It's crazy to think about that we've been doing it for that long.
So you started 2019?
We started Yes, it was like right the off season going into the 2019 season is when we started. So it's awesome. I do it with my college buddy from North Park University, Hot Take Tommy, I should say. Yeah, good college buddy of mine. We've been doing it for 4 years. We're going to continue doing it. There's a little bit of a transition period actually right now with the Sons of Hahnarchy podcast.
What you guys doing?
So the Sons is still going to continue, but I'm actually starting a brand new podcast, bi-weekly podcast with Carrie at That Baseball Fan.
There you go.
On Twitter through a different podcast network. So we're very, very excited.
Congratulations to you two.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
And I love the name, Sons of Hahnarchy.
Yes, absolutely. We got T-shirts. I got a T-shirt in my backpack actually waiting for you later.
Oh, shit. Look at you. You're bringing gifts, ordering pizza. Damn, you're one hell of a guest, my man.
Hey, I'm trying to do my best here. I appreciate being on here. And, man, I'm telling you, I'm sweating a little bit. I normally sweat, but I'm sweating a little bit extra right now. I just want to make sure that,
You're doing a great job.
Thank you,
Don't
Sean.
worry. I'm not trying to bust toss Herb here. Herb is always sweating on camera. So sweat is very, very welcomed here on the CHGO White Sox podcast.
Absolutely. I'm like Moist Michael, Michael Kopech. So.
Miss Moist Michael. I felt like he was sweatier coming out of the bullpen.
Oh,
I feel like they probably put some water on him to get that effect, Oh, all right, kid, you're starting in the 5th inning. Let's get your
maybe a little bit extra
for
show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Triple H, Let's talk about a different star. Moist Michael was a part of the Ponytail Gang, and so is Liam Hendricks.
That's right.
And Liam Hendricks is now an All-Star. So hey, congratulations! Shout out to the Peanut Gallery. Thank you very much. Liam Hendricks is now an All-Star, and he has been added. Justin Verlander was taken off. There was 3 other pitchers taken off, and mostly relievers were added. I got a really upset message from producer Steven saying, they picked the wrong White Sox pitcher today. How are you feeling? I understand the decision, but I don't know. You as a Sox fan,
absolutely no. Hey, I'm happy that Liam got in. It's an excellent pick. He's been one of the best closers in baseball this year. Statistically, he looks fantastic. I know Vinny, CHGO's finest, has said that he was the best closer for the AL. I'm not too 100% sure about that one when we look, when we break down the bottom line. But he's still been really good. And when he's healthy, he's been consistent. Somebody that we can depend on, somebody we can trust. And, I know as Steven mentioned, producer Steven said that it should have been Cease, possibly.
That should have been.
Okay.
Well,
so
here's my thoughts. So the 3 players that were added, Liam Hendricks, Jordan Romano, and Devin Williams, they replaced Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, and Max Fried. If you actually wanted Dylan Cease in the All-Star game, still you should be upset that Garrett Cole made it over Dylan Cease or Verlander made it over Dylan Cease, because at this point, Cease is starting today. So he's not going to be able to pitch tomorrow. which is the same reason why Cole and Verlander can't pitch, because they'll be inactive. And they're going to go with the guys that don't need rest. Sure. Jordan Romano and Liam Hendricks don't need rest. That's why they can be added last minute, because they'll get the day off. They're not throwing to the home run derby tomorrow, so they'll have a day off tomorrow no matter what. So,
absolutely.
It makes sense to me.
For sure. I'm not one to get super worked up about who makes the All-Star game and who doesn't. And I'm sure, deep down in the players' hearts, it means a lot to be selected to the All-Star game. But all in all, these guys aren't just in it to be an All-Star. They're in it for the long haul. They're in it to win a championship. And hopefully this, continues to fuel Cease a little bit, and says, kind of that chip on his shoulder and says, hey, kind of like, you don't think I'm good enough? Screw off. Like, I can do this, and I'm going to be the best pitcher in baseball now.
You sound like Liam Hendricks. So Liam talked before the game about making the All-Star game, and this is from Daryl Van Schouwen. And he said on Dylan Cease not making the All-Star game, his numbers and what he's done, and if you take away the numbers, what he's meant to this team is unrivaled. It's disappointing for him, but hopefully something to use as fuel to the fire in the second half and even be better. So there you go. I mean, Liam and you're an All-Star as well. You got all-star thinking, just like Liam Hendricks. So congratulations.
I got my game on. Go play.
So, and you're quoting Smash Mouth. First Smash Mouth lyric here on the podcast. So congratulations.
I'm proud.
It's only taken 4 months. We're excited for Liam, seeing him in the All-Star game. But we also got to talk about Dylan Cease, just because it's been a phenomenal season, and he's in some interesting ranks here, because right now, Shane McClanahan leads the major leagues with 147 strikeouts. Dylan Cease is at 142. Cease is third in the MLB. Corbin Burns is at 144, so he needs 3 to pass Burns and 6 to pass Shane McClanahan. So that would be one hell of a first half for him. Let's talk about Dylan Cease compared to, are we on that? Can we go to the strikeout one? I know Steven's making graphics that you guys can't see, but this is where Dylan Cease is going to rank likely after today. If he strikes out 13, he'll be second all-time in first-half strikeouts in White Sox history, but he'll probably end up third. Steve-O is taking the over of 6.5, but he needs 13
that was
today.
7.5, actually, right?
Oh, 7.5?
7.5.
Plus 120? It's not bad.
And those are good odds, especially considering his strikeout numbers this year. The fact that Cease is third all time right now, right? And it's probably not going to happen that he catches Ed Walsh, right?
Right.
But the fact that you have Ed Walsh, who, 1911, I mean, we're talking about the dead ball era here, right?
I'm surprised they counted strikeouts back then.
Yeah, honestly, though, it's just ERA and wins and losses, right?
They didn't even count ERA. It was just all runs. Wow. There was no earned runs.
Fantastic. But obviously that 2015 sale number is ethereal. Like, he was the best pitcher in baseball that year, like, bar none. So,
yeah, and I mean, it's surprising that he didn't win, Cy Young that year. He ended up striking, I think, 274.
Right, the numbers were just absolutely insane.
And setting the franchise record. So, I mean, Cease right now, he'll probably need to have one hell of a second half to catch any of Sale's strikeout numbers, but he has been absolutely fantastic and can still be the Cy Young this year. Let's look at his ERA ranks as well. We'll compare this after the game and see where he ends up. But lowest ERA by the Sox pitchers in the first half. Right now, he ranks 7th with a 2.30 ERA. As we all remember, Esteban Loaiza's 2003 All-Star series, season in 2.21 ERA. He's at 6. But you see, Chris Sale. I know you're a huge Britt Burns guy. Lance Lynn as well, who finished third in the Cy Young last year. He had a 1.99 ERA in the first half, but and even Carlos Rodon last year. He's been better than Carlos Rodon last year.
I mean, it is all-star level, and that's, I think, the upsetting part, right? It's obviously you break down the numbers and you look at it and you say, yes, Dylan Cease should absolutely be an all-star. Then again, as Liam said, hopefully that chip on the shoulder. And on top of that, man, I mean, she's right there with Esteban Loaiza, man. That guy could sling it, if you know what I mean.
Are you talking about the baseball, or are you talking about...
It could mean two things, a little double entendre right there.
He is in prison. Let's look at Dylan Cease's stats this year and who the pitching matchup is today. Who's he going up against? So Dylan Cease on the year, the full stats, 97 2/3 innings. He's not even 100 innings pitched this year. A 2.30 ERA. 75 hits allowed, 142 strikeouts. Again, if he gets to 148, if he strikes out 6, he'll be the MLB leader at the All-Star break. He is the MLB leader in walks with 46 this year and a 172 ERA+. On the bump for the Twins, Chris Archer, 61 1/3, a 3.08 ERA, 47 hits allowed, 47 Ks, 30 walks surrendered, and an ERA plus of 124. Good numbers for Chris Archer, but I remember the White Sox hit him well.
Exactly. Much surprise for me that Chris Archer's numbers are actually that good this year. I thought he was going to be absolutely washed, which, I also thought the same thing about Johnny Cueto, and he's been honestly way better and quite fantastic. To
The
be
second
honest
best pitcher, probably.
Exactly,
for the
right.
team.
When it comes to when we're talking about consistency, right? I mean, Kopech's stuff is obviously better, but control is still an issue from time to time, as we saw even in his last start.
And velocity too. I mean,
and the velo. Luckily, the velo was back up last start, which is good to see. Dylan Cease, and can we actually go back to that graphic? That K to walk is just like absolutely insane to me. I know 46 is a lot of walks, but when you're striking out 142 guys, I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest with you. I mean, You're going to have that when you're pumping gas like Dylan Cease is.
Well, and I mean, his whip, I know I've seen some people complain about it, but it's still like 1.2. And as long as he's striking out guys, I mean, that's the best way to neutralize base runners is just
1,000%.
to strike that motherfucker out. Don't let him put the ball in play.
Exactly.
So he's got a really good formula working for him. It's why he's got a 2.30 ERA. Like I tweeted out something, I think it was like after May 29th, how he's used his slider more. And some guy was like, oh, but he's allowed a lot of base runners and a lot of non-earned runs. It's like, why are White Sox fans complaining about the one thing that's fucking good this year?
Exactly.
It makes no sense to me.
Also, you said that someone giving up a lot of non-earned runs. I mean, that's not his responsibility.
Right.
Like,
he has like the worst defense behind him in the league. But it's fun that you bring up the walk to K ratio. I thought I was going to be able to find that easier. I can't. Well, I bet it's really high. I bet Dylan Cease probably has one of the higher walk to strikeout ratios in the league. Alex, if you're in the chat, find that for me. But he's saying Wes Johnson had a lot to do with Archer's success, and now he's gone. A lot of his success is due to not pitching a ton as well, not being overexposed. He's only had 3 starts where he's gone 5 innings. In one of those games where he's went less than 5 innings, 3 innings against the White Sox on April 24th. They got 3 hits off of him, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 Ks. And I remember, I think the last pitch he threw, Andrew Vaughn laced a single into left field, and then Trevor Larnach threw out, I think it was Abreu at home, or it might have been Grandal. Right. But it was definitely a bad Joe McEwing moment. So
1,000%.
As long as Joe McEwing doesn't beat the White Sox, I think the White Sox can beat Chris Archer.
And I mean, our guy Alex Rude, who was on Thursday with you, talked about this too. When it comes to matching up with the Twins this year, it's been a lot of the White Sox beating the White Sox, not the Twins beating the White Sox, which is, really promising when we think about, how this team is matching up against the division and a team that's ahead of them in the standings.
Well, and you brought up Cease's K to walk ratio. Alex said he was on it, beat you to it. Alex, he's 5th in the major leagues, right? In front of old friend Carlos Rodon, and just behind Aaron Nola, Garrett Cole, Corbin Burns, and Shane McClanahan. So we could say Dylan Cease has been elite. Yeah. Let's look at the Sox starting lineup and get into the starting 9 for the Sox. Leading off for them, Tim Anderson playing shortstop. Can we go to Steve-O real quick? You a Tim Anderson fan? You got to just show off the jersey real quick. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looks good. Great last name, by the way, on the back.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The best last name.
Tim Anderson leading off, playing shortstop for your White Sox. Batting second, Yohan Moncada playing third base. Batting third, Andrew Vaughn playing first base. Batting fourth, Jose Abreu is your designated hitter. Batting fifth, Gavin Sheets in right field. Batting sixth, Josh Harrison playing second base. Batting seventh, Leury Garcia in left field. Batting eighth, Sevi Zavala in center. Not center. Jesus, I'm thinking basketball. Sevi Zavala is your catcher. And ninth, Adam Engel in center field. And Adam Engel is in center field because Luis Robert is still lightheaded. Let's go to Daryl Van Schouwen, who is out in Minnesota at Target Field, and he said no progress for Luis Robert, lightheadedness today. And James Fegan also followed up, and Tony La Russa said on Luis Roberts' persistent lightheadedness, he's on hold until he gets the checkup tomorrow. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So, Steve-O, what do you make of this?
It's a big bummer, obviously, that he's out of the lineup. At face value, it's like, crap, trying to play, to get to 500 before the All-Star break, which is something that on the Sons of Hahnarchy podcast, I've talked about, hey, Sox need to be rough start, get to 500 before the All-Star break. And I've said it constantly, over and over, right? And not having Luis in your lineup, especially with the hot bat, sucks. I'm thinking that there's got to be something more than just lightheadedness going on here, like some sort of concussion issue, right? And it goes back to Rick Hahn and the front office, and I don't know who's all making the decisions here, but why is he not on the concussion protocol? Why is he not on the 7-day concussion list? And this has been an issue for multiple players throughout the year, not being on the IL when they should be on the IL. You're playing, what do you call that? Down? You're playing with less guys, right?
Yeah, a man down.
Man down, exactly.
2 men down at this point because Eloy Jimenez is still unavailable, has been unavailable this entire series, out for 4 games. You have 4 days off. You don't play until Friday. He could have easily gone on the 10-day IL. So it makes no sense why the Sox aren't giving these guys extra time when clearly they're not ready to go. And we don't know what happened to Luis Robert. They know more than us, and it's just frustrating that they can't make the decisions to help the team. Like, it was so weird seeing him on Friday's game. We ended up doing a show on Friday. On Fridays, or no, it was a show on Thursday.
It was
Thursday.
It was Thursday.
Thursday, there was a play where Buxton hit the ball off the left center field wall, and Robert made the play and got up to the ball, but he was like a couple feet over to the left, and it was just weird him judging the ball or misjudging the ball too that went in front of him. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. Like, there's signs that this guy might not be there right now in the field, and I don't understand why the White Sox just can't make the decision to be like,
yeah, give him a rest, go through concussion protocol, whatever needs to happen. I don't know why they're hiding it, but yeah, it seems like they're hiding it.
Yeah, and in Sox, you could probably say intoxicated fan says this Robert injury reminds me of the time Coop got vertigo and missed like 3 weeks. People get vertigo in baseball. Someone said that on Twitter, so it must be true. And maybe he got vertigo. I don't know. You're flying on planes a lot.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Sometimes I think I have vertigo, but that's just really bad hangovers. So,
and hey, Baloney says 3-day hangovers, so maybe that's what Luis. Just a lot of partying out in Minnesota.
Absolutely. Too much Domino's. He's dehydrated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a long night of Domino's and hanging out with the 108 crew in Minnesota.
That might be the fact.
It's a bad mix,
honestly.
Yeah, it's a bad mix. A bad crowd to get mixed up with. Let's go to the Twins starting lineup here. And hi, Eli Stein. How you doing, buddy? That's our friend Eli. He's from Israel.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, right? He watches like every show.
That's dope.
At like 6 a.m. Why? This team
Dedication.
is under 500.
It is
Eli.
9 p.m. over there
They're here
right
for
now.
you, not for the White Sox.
It's 9 p.m. over there right now.
It's you, Sean.
Is it me?
It is you.
Oh, my God. He misspelled my name.
So charismatic. Oh, yeah, it is true.
Let's go to the Minnesota Twins starting lineup. And leading off for them is Luis Arraez. He is the designated hitter today. Batting second, Carlos Correa. Playing shortstop. Batting third, Byron Buxton in center field. Batting fourth, Max Kepler in right field. Batting fifth, Jorge Polanco at second base. Batting sixth, Alex Kirilloff at first base. Batting seventh, Jose Miranda at third base. Batting eighth, Nick Gordon in left field. And batting ninth, Gary Sanchez in center field. Those are some sweet powder blue jerseys.
Gary Sanchez catcher.
Yeah, we
catcher.
Our softball jerseys kind of look like I played in a softball league this spring/summer, and then summer league just started back up. But we got kind of like those powder blue with the cursive look.
Hell yeah.
We're sponsored too. It's actually pretty dope.
What
honestly.
position you?
I play whatever doesn't get me hurt.
Okay.
So
what positions are you most afraid of then? First base?
I pitched one game, and the first pitch I threw, we were getting killed. I was the replacement pitcher, but I wafted one up, and literally just a comebacker line drive straight at me, and I ducked just to get out of the way, barely missed my head. So pitcher is probably the most dangerous.
Yeah, I was afraid playing softball out in the outfield just because, catching a softball, a 16-inch softball is it's a delicate process.
Absolutely.
It can easily break your fingers out. And Steven knows we lost one of our games 19-4. So they were just like you, killing the ball. Like, we had no chance, and they were just hitting lasers out to the outfield. So we should play, though. We should get, like, a Sox podcast.
I think that's a really good idea.
Right? Like, the 108 gets their team. You and Tommy get a team, or you and Carrie and Tommy get a team.
Ooh, like podcast teams.
Sox machine.
I like this.
Right?
I like this a lot.
CHGO White Sox.
We can see what we can do on this one.
NBC Sports Chicago is probably too big for us, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, they got you blocked, though. So
right, they do have
somebody else is going to have to slide into the DMs.
Yeah, but imagine like Ozzie Guillen playing in our softball.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
It'd be sick. But what do you make of the Twins? You scared of the Twins? Them being in first place, they're at 50 and 43. Sox at 45 and 46. Sox are 4 games back. You worried about the Twins?
It's hard to make up ground. It's always hard to make up ground, and Minnesota does have the talent when they're healthy. Obviously, Correa's had a little bit of injury problems this year. Obviously, Buxton is a huge concern in regard to injuries for them. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm not scared of the Twins. I'm worried about the gap that's there right now in regard to standings. It's never easy to play catch up, to play come from behind, no matter how easy your schedule is in the future. When it comes to today's lineup, and here's the thing, when it comes to the lineup of the Twins, I think they match up really well with the White Sox. When you start to look at the Twins pitching, when you start to look at the Twins bullpen, that's where I think the Sox are much stronger than the Twins. And that's why I'm not super scared of the Twins in a sense.
Well, and that's why I think they can win today, because clearly they're not using Archer a ton. They used him a bit more in June. He had 3 of those starts where he went 5 innings in June, so maybe they're trying to get a little bit more out of him because that bullpen's been so bad. But if you're only seeing 3 innings of Chris Archer and then you get 6 innings of that bullpen, you just got to take advantage of hitting Chris Archer hard, and then you're playing with a lead. I mean, you've proven that you can hit this guy. He's got a below-average fastball velocity-wise. His slider isn't anything crazy at this point. This should be a win for the Sox.
It should absolutely be a win. And, when I'm points bet, and I threw down my White Sox bet today.
There you go.
I threw down, obviously, you said on CHGO's today at 7.5, and then I also took White Sox money line. And I think one thing that really plays into that is, you said, Archer has not, 2 starts where he went 5 or more innings this year. And then the bullpen's been taxed for Minnesota this series so far. They've used their bullpen a lot. And outside of Duran, I really don't like their bullpen. I think it's very weak. And when you've already got Chris Archer on the mound and a taxed bullpen, the White Sox should be able to take advantage of that, despite the offense having their flaws this year.
Duran threw 2 innings yesterday with a lot of pitches. I think a 10-pitch at bat to end it to Tim Anderson. So you got to assume he's probably unavailable today.
You would think so.
I would really hope.
Right, and one thing the Sox did this, well, I mean, even though Kopech wasn't dominant and Lance Lynn wasn't dominant, they still got innings out of those guys yesterday and on Friday enough to protect the bullpen. And Liam should be good today. They should be able to roll out Graveman. I mean, I think that you'll probably see the White Sox throw everything into winning this game. I think it would be really nice for them to finish the first half at 500. Be a hell of a lot better than being 2 games under for the 16th time this year. So it really feels like the Sox have all the momentum, all of the motive to win today. And it feels like a really winnable matchup. And I'm glad you brought up PointsBet because, A, it makes a really easy transition for me. But also, they're the sponsor of the podcast. And the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But that's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. And you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free t-shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making more than a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. If you have any questions, you can email pointsbet@allchgo.com, and we'll help you out. And Steve-O, PointsBet's your home for live in-play betting, and it just got even better. You told me when you see an edge in the game you're watching, when your favorite team is primed for a comeback, you don't just watch the game. You bet along with it live. There's more live betting, more live markets, and faster live cash-outs with the PointsBet market. So what are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game like Steve-O does. Download the PointsBet app right now and use promo code CHGO. And once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. You told me that you like to.
Oh, I really do.
So
I really do.
The Sox go down 1-0. Maybe Cease has a shaky first inning.
Yeah.
You slamming the Sox money line?
1,000%.
There you go.
1,000%.
What are you looking for in a game? Like when you live bet, like is there certain things you're looking for from the Sox that it's like, oh, this team's there, they're just not.
Yeah,
they're just like down right now.
Especially with the White Sox in particular. I usually do this with teams that I follow. So say, for example, during basketball season, it's the Bulls, or during football season, it's Notre Dame Fighting Irish football, which I get ragged for a lot on White Sox Twitter because there's a lot of Notre Dame haters out there. But
They hate us because they ain't us.
There you go. Exactly.
I mean, wake up the Echoes. What are we talking about
Hey,
here?
there it is.
I love AJ Pollock.
Yeah, I love having. Oh man, just want him to start hitting a little bit better.
Josh Nelson was hoping too. He was going to get a steak dinner out of it if he started hitting better.
Oof. So no, I usually look for, especially with the White Sox, it's patient plate approaches, right? When the team is going up there and, say Chris Archer gets through the first 2 innings today with like 16 pitches, I'm like, oh, then I might shy away. But say Archer's pitch count is high, the at-bats have been solid, the White Sox are making hard contact, not just pounding the ball on the ground, then, hey, then we're mashing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with Kerry. If Sox can score first, they'll 1,000% win this game. If the Sox take a 2-0 lead like they did yesterday in the first inning, or was it Friday where Andrew Vaughn had the 2 RBI double?
Yep.
Or the 2 RBI single. The Sox are going to win this game.
They should.
I really just feel this confident. And I know it's this team, but it's just it's got that feeling. And last time it had this feeling, Byron Buxton hit a walk-off homer in the 10th inning against the Sox, and, we were all sad. So hopefully Tony doesn't blow this one because the last Chris Archer start felt good. The Sox should have won that one, and then, we had a really rough postgame.
Yeah, that was the Liam back problems, though, right?
Yeah, that was the Liam couldn't throw a slider, could only throw a fastball, and we were too afraid to pitch to Luis Ariz and not the guy that can hit balls 440 feet.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into our predictions. Steve-O's given you some predictions already. He's going to give you Cease over 7.5 strikeouts. He's going to give you a White Sox winner. What was the other one you said?
Those were my main 2.
Okay, those are the main 2. Who is your click to pick, and what is your prediction?
The guy on the back of the jersey, Tim Anderson. Let's go with 2 hits today.
There you go.
I'm sure that's got to be decent money, too.
Probably plus 170. You got a score for us?
A score?
Yeah.
Of the ball game. Let's go. There's a score at the end of the baseball game. That
Usually,
does happen.
plus 125 for 2 hits for TA.
I might throw a little bit down on that too, because that is my pick to click. I'm gonna go with White Sox. I'm feeling good, especially with Archer and a taxed bullpen. Let's go White Sox 6, Twins 2.
Okay, I'm going to go a little more toxic. I'm going 9-1 Sox.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a big day.
That.
And Jose Abreu has not gotten a hit, from what I could tell, off of Chris Archer before. I think that changes today with the Pito Blast.
He's due.
We're going Jose Abreu with a bomb. Sox win 9-1. And that will do it for the CHGO White Sox pregame show. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the chat. JJ says Cease is due for a stinker, TBH. Minnesota hasn't seen his slider all year, so I think they're pretty screwed, honestly. And like Kerry said, just need Cease to pitch well against the Twins, which I believe clear-wise he's been bad. He's been all right. He was all right last year. He got a decent amount of strikeouts. Enough for the Sox to win, I think, and that's what we're going with.
Feeling good.
Rusted saying Cease going to use that chip on his shoulder to go 6+ innings with 10+ Ks. Peter going to light up Minnesota for a 3 to 4 day with a dinger. Jose got stubbed for the All-Star game, and I'm just going to keep saying it. So there you go. We'll see what happens, Steve-O. Join us on the live post-game show 10 minutes after the final out is made. Steve-O will be here, and make sure you follow him on Twitter @DrunkSci Fan, and make sure you check out the Sons of Hahnarchy pod. What is the tag?
Sons of Hahnarchy.
There you go. And again, @DrunkSci Sox fan. I get really nervous that I'm not pronouncing it fully. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter @Sean_W_Anderson. And Intoxicated fans, Edible just kicked in. So enjoy the game, everybody. Go White Sox.
Go White Sox.